and welcome to Iconic Fashion TV. I am your host, Sheldon G. Horton, and we have an exciting show for you today. But first, let me introduce my co-host and Iconic Fashion family. We have the beautiful Narkelia.
Hi.
And we have Star.
Y'all know what's up.
And Mr. Rashawn Wells.
What it do?
The fashion industry can be a very misunderstood profession at times. The industry is more than models, elaborate parties, and fashion trends, which are sometimes influenced by the enclaves of Paris and New York. Our guests today understand that fashion is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and through hard work, taking risks, creativity, networking, that true success can and will be a reality. Team, what's so special about this episode is we are highlighting men in the fashion industry, right? Yes. We have an industry exclusive with Deck Specs, Anthony of Vintage Clothing Collection, as well as rapper Trues, who is here to talk to us today about fashion and hip hop.
But before we bring out all of the men, let's do one of our favorite interactive portions of the show, Street Style.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, let's start with Ebony. I really love Ebony's street chic style. I definitely love the edginess with the camo button-down shirt, the coats, the pumps. You know I love my heels.
Yes.
It's just definitely love her outfit, love her style.
Right.
You know what? Honestly, you know, she reminds me of tell me Rashawn.
Julie Ambrose.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
yes.
All I got to say is, Mama, you doing it. You look good.
Sure is.
Ebony is giving me what I need.
Yes.
I mean, the vintage stole jacket is giving me 70s. The camouflage shirt is giving me urban chic. You know what I'm saying? And the shoes are mwah. There's a term that Rashawn and I use a lot when we're talking about people in fashion. We say you either own it or you're borrowing it. Right. But this sister is owning it.
Ebony, I love her overall presentation. Her look was very dope. She wasn't afraid to play with color and texture. I love the patterns. It was very vintage, and she was one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
So, next picture is Philip. I definitely like how Philip is daring to be different with the mixing of patterns, which is definitely in this season.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's not too much because the colors sync with each other. So I really dig his style for that.
Awesome.
I love it because, I mean, he was able to find balance, create a balance with the whole outfit. And I mean, it showed his swag, you know what I'm saying? He owned it. Again, he didn't borrow it. And it came off authentic. He just did him, you know? So, shout out to Philip. Good job.
That's what's up. And for me, Philip gets points. I mean, because individual style is about doing you.
Exactly.
I mean, really it is.
And I don't want to all look alike.
Right.
I love it.
Right.
I love it. Thanks, everybody. If you're interested in being recognized for your street style, email us at iconicfashion.info@gmail.com. Tell us your name and a little about your outfit, and perhaps we'll share your fashion flair.
So next up we have Rodney Arthur, who is CEO of RA Design Group, and he gave us some insight about branding.
Yes, and what Rodney said was branding is not a one-time occurrence, but it's a continual process.
Exactly.
It took 2 weeks of defining and refining, and as it continued to change, like right before his very eyes. Rodney also said that one must be committed to tweaking and evolving. There are new categories that he's adding to his brand daily, and he's taking others away. If they work, they work. They don't, he moves them. You know, and through this way, it shows that a brand is getting better, more steady, and it's maturing. RA Design Group is called to celebrate the lives, the giftedness, and the talents of unsung creatives in the industry. Rod Art also says, I found that it's difficult for certain ethnic models, photographers, designers, or stylists to break into mainstream market. But RA Design Group is that platform. And that's what's up, and we appreciate you for that, Rod Art.
Yes, we definitely do. And I feel like the most important aspect of branding is networking.
Oh, absolutely.
The best advertisement is word of mouth.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Branding is also about symbolism, like establishing that presence within yourself when you know, every time you enter a room.
But and to sum it all up, branding is about clarity, consistency, and constancy. I mean, the 3 C's. Yeah. Next up, we're talking about fashion collections from designer of Free A, rapper Trues, and Anthony of the Vintage Clothing Collection. Don't go away. More Iconic Fashion TV when we return.
Yes.
All in together now, we can make it better now. Come on.
Moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier. Search We Can to find out more.
We are back, and we are talking about how to develop a clothing collection. Well, self-taught fashion designer of Free A says that a fashion collection is like a plot in a movie or a book. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. In this collection, each garment has its own look, and the inspiration came from different sources within each piece. What unifies the collection is the design aesthetics, fabric selection, color, and textures. And the transition also. Like all forms of artistry, you need to sharpen your skill, according to a Free A. He further says it takes a lot for a designer to do a collection. It takes time, money, and manpower. So having a team is crucial. Right, first hand. A Free A has been fortunate to be selected to participate in 2 major fashion events, which gave him the opportunity to display his collection and craft for his peers and industry leaders. He says, I put a lot on the line. I sacrificed 3 months of rent to spend on the necessities for this collection. Quit my job, which was my major source of income, to make time to dedicate to the construction of this line as well. And he says, don't even consider sleeping. But he said it was all worth it.
That is what you call grind.
That is what you call grind.
Yes.
That is what you call
And looking at his collection, I definitely can tell his dedication to it. It's awesome. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can see this stuff on Paris runways. I can see it in New York. I mean, I can see this in a major.
I mean, with the Ralph Lauren, the whole, like, you know what I'm saying, the whole bit. Like, I like it.
The feel I got from his collection was black British. You know what I'm saying? The soldier, militant, you know, sophistication style of it. Just celebrating, you know, a unity or structure, men. You know what I'm saying?
Classical.
So he threw a girl in there, and you couldn't even really tell. And she rocked the male's line. Do you understand?
But you know what I love about that? Afria only makes men's clothing. So the fact that he had a woman in his collection says, I mean, he's about to, brand out and probably expand into women's line.
I'm ready for a close-up. I'm ready.
Hey, I'm just ready for an outfit. You know, just throw me a shirt.
Like, I know on one, like on the runway, like it's the sweater, the tan sweater. That cream sweater was awesome.
Yeah,
it was so awesome.
The jacket with the fur going down.
Look at you.
That's me.
Just loud. Just loud.
You know.
Thank you so much, Free A, for just talking with us and sending us the information. Your images are absolutely amazing. We have Deck Specs, which is a company made of artistic skaters who design glasses out of used skateboards. The result is a one-of-a-kind, stunning piece of workmanship and ingenuity. Here is your industry exclusive with Deck Specs.
I started skating when I was like 12 or 13 and I hadn't stopped since. I don't plan on ever stopping. It's just pretty much a way of life now, you know what I mean? You get something like that invested into something and you can never give it up. You know what I mean? It's what I wake up, like, you know, if I'm not working, I'm out skating. My homie came to me with like, hey, I got this super cool idea to make bamboo sunglasses, and I was just like, oh. And we looked it up and it was already a thing, so. And then just from him saying that, like minutes later, I was just like, why don't we just make them out of skateboards? The difference between us and every other wood sunglasses, I guess, is we're using skateboards. We're not using veneer, we're not using, you know, flat pieces of wood and making a shape out of them. The skateboard has a natural concave that allows us to be able to make glasses pretty easy. That was like the whole concept. Like, you know, the tails, you know, match the contour to the side of your head, and then basically the concave of the middle of the board matches like pretty closely to your face, you know what I mean? And we just, you know, put our fine tuning on it and, you know, make it a wearable piece of art. Our current frame style that we have is the classic Wayfarer. Our next styles, which is a girl Wayfarer, and then these we're calling the Old Fourth boards, and they're basically kind of like a Loke style.
I've been with Deck Specs for about 2 years now. I just wanted to make artwork, really, and this is the best way to do it. I mean, I get to hang out with my friends and work with skateboards at the same time. The first thing we do to make a pair of glasses, get the old skateboard, take off the grip tape, and then we run it through our CNC program, which cuts out the shape of the fronts and the earpieces. And then we take those rough pieces and bring them to like the hand sanders and the Dremel, sand them down, smooth them down, just make sure they're nice and, like, you know, because they got to go on your face. You don't want them to be sharp. We hand sand them, and then we paint them, and then it goes to assembly where we put in hinges and screws, lenses, and that's pretty much it.
We don't like to waste anything. We like to use every bit of the skateboard for other projects. So we did a bunch of ashtrays, and currently they're at Elmere, and we just gave them to the owner because he donated a bunch of concrete for us to make a ramp outside, and yeah, it was just a really nice gesture, and so we just made him a bunch of ashtrays. My advice to everyone that's a young entrepreneur that, you know, has any crazy idea or whatever they want to do, like, don't be discouraged. Just go out there, chase your dreams. Don't be like discouraged when, you know, someone says you can't do something, because that's just, you know, people not understanding your idea. Our website is www.deckspecs.com. If you're a skateboarder and you want to, you know, have a pair of Deck Specs, drop off your board and we can work something out. I'm located on 145 Sampson Street, right behind Bell Street Burrito, Old Fourth Ward.
You can achieve anything you put your mind to. Thanks, Deck Specs. And when we return, we have rapper Trues and Anthony of Vintage Collection Clothing. You don't want to miss this. More Iconic Fashion TV when we return.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Call this free government program for the option that's right for you.
Yo, we are here today with Vice President of Operations, Anthony of Vintage Collection Clothing. Brother, thank you so much for being with us, man. Let's get into this interview. Let's talk about vintage.
Let's talk about it.
He's like, let's talk about it. Okay, so when did vintage clothing all begin?
Well, my partner, Iman Tatum, he's not here. He's out handling business. He created the idea, I say summer 2006, as just a pipe dream, you know, in the works. He was staying home with his mom, and just we was best of friends. Been hanging since middle school, and he was just like, I want to do a clothing line. So I said, okay, man, you know, whatever. So 2007 hits, and it's Vegas, NBA All-Star. So we go out there. I think we're going out there to party, have a good time, but we actually went out to the first Magic convention, met some manufacturers, and just learned the lingo of fashion. So that following August, we showed at Magic. We had about 45 designs, which was way too much designs, but went out there, showed, you know, met a lot of people in the fashion industry, and just fell in love with it, you know, and we just started working and trying to figure out this and that, how to move and shake in the fashion world. Then, you know, the market hit and
everything took off from there.
Everything kind of jumbled, but that's when we started in 2007.
Okay. Oh, that's what's up. So what do you all want people to think of when they see Vintage Collection clothing?
Well, Vintage is it's a lifestyle brand, and you know we're dedicated to having longevity and being consistent in this game. We want to be up there with the polos, just want to have a longevity type feel. Right now we're just t-shirts and snapbacks, but we want to have a longevity, like we want that brand Vintage to be major, you know, global, like not like a FUBU, but like a FUBU, but just, you know, LRG, just the big, we want to be there with the big boys. Yeah, we want to be with the big boys.
There's a mantra that you follow, nothing else matters, I believe.
Nothing else even matters. And
Tell us about
that means that we're going to obtain our dream regardless of what happens. No matter any downfall, anything we go through, God is going to take us where we need to go because we have a vision, and nothing matters. When you following and chasing a dream, it's going to be a lot of pitfalls, a lot of losses you have to take, and it don't feel good. So you have to have a mind state of that I'm going to brush myself off, get back up and go. And because nothing matters, nothing. If it stands in our way, it don't matter. We're going to keep pushing.
I like that. Okay, so what does fashion mean to you?
Fashion is everything.
Or should I say, what does fashion mean to Vintage clothing?
Well, fashion means the vintage. It's like I said, it's our lifestyle. So you want to when we were coming up high school, you want to be fresh, you want to be unique, you want to be different, you want to set your own trends. And we saw a lacking in the urban streetwear market. Like we saw that a lot of it was redundant, and we still see that right now to today. But we want to create our own lane for fashion. We want to create our own fresh, our own style, how we do things.
Unique branding, should say.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, individuality.
So fashion to us is, and as we got into the business side of it, it means a lot. It's just really your lifestyle and how you carry yourself. It's your individual.
What's the three C's? What's the three C's?
Clarity, consistency, and constancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta have that.
So what do y'all do to keep evolving and staying original and staying
up to date?
Yeah.
Well, you have to stay on top of the trends. Right. But as that, you have to stay on top of the trends. You have to see what's finna happen 3-4 seasons ahead of the time. But it's easy to do that because you can tell pretty much that you'll see it on the BETs, or you'll see it on the MTVs. You'll see
the red carpet.
And you'll see the red carpet.
That's your way.
They'll start setting trends, but it's other ways that you can see trends coming too.
So that's your own way of doing trend forecasting.
Yeah.
Seeing what's okay. I love it.
Well, there's other ways to do it, but those are some kind of the ways that we do trend forecast.
Okay.
And that's what's up, man.
Call it trend forecast.
Yeah, because that's really what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
You have to do that to stay current.
Current, yeah, absolutely. You know, we have run out of time, Anthony, but brother, we are so grateful that you have come to our set just to talk to us about Vintage Collection clothing, man. And
I've checked it out. It's hot.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Dream is Real video.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's
with the older guy. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up. Next up, the rapper True. So stay with us for more Iconic Fashion TV.
My parents say I have to be home right after work.
That's so gay.
Totally gay.
That is so Emma and Julia.
Imagine if who you are were used as an insult. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Yo, we are in the studio with rapper Trues. Brother, thank you so much for being with us today. So we're going to get right into this interview. Tell us a little bit about Trues the rapper.
Trues the rapper is kind of basically is the same as Trues the man, you know. I try to incorporate as much as my real self in my music as I can, because I think that's what the game lacks, is that personality, you know, outside of just being a musician. You know, what makes a good musician is being yourself on stage and in the booth, and of course sitting on couches with fine people like yourself.
Okay, so now we're going to lead into this, right? So what does music mean to you?
Music is everything. I think music saved my life. You know, not like I was like, you know, on a verge of doing something crazy, but you know, without music, where would any of us be? You know, like the problems that go on in all of our lives, music helps us get through it, you know, no matter what.
I agree.
Yeah. So whenever you hear a song, it takes you back to that time, like whenever time period you heard the song, whatever that emotion, you know what I'm saying? So you gonna go back to a kid, yeah. It's just like that, yeah. It's just like that. I actually did that on one of my first mixtapes.
So yep, I'm
yeah.
after the show.
Okay.
And we are definitely all on this couch music lovers, as well as fashion lovers. So with that being said, how do you determine what you're going to wear when you perform?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard in a sense because it's like you want to leave an impression, but you don't want to leave a false impression either. You know what I'm saying? And that's the major thing. You don't want to be on stage and everybody think you just, you know, nowadays listeners, like, they praise musicians, so you gotta be careful. So you don't want to be on stage looking like something greater than these people out in the crowd. So what I try to do is not be normal as possible, but look different, but be welcoming at the same time. So yeah, so that's what fashion is to me on stage. Being approachable. Being approachable, exactly. Like, you don't want nobody to be scared to come up and talk to you, you know.
Yeah, that is awesome.
So how often do you use like a fashion stylist for your wardrobe, if you use one at all?
I kind of really don't, but I have a lot of people in my circle that actually is involved with fashion. My girl actually, my model, she models, so she's pretty dope at it, and she helps me. She puts stuff together, pick out certain stuff, and you know, it just comes from that. But mainly, I like to look and pull from other people's fashion, and then
make it your own. Yeah, put your own spin on it, of course, definitely.
So how important do you feel it is? How important do you feel? How can I say this? I want to word it right, because I know artist to artist, you know, we can get too deep and start talking a whole bunch. You know what I mean? How important do you feel it is to stay true to who you are?
It's very important. I feel like if you're not, I honestly feel like if you're not being true to yourself, you kind of won't last in the game. In here, though, you know, like it's like you can have the longest career, but if you can't look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day or before you go to sleep and be happy. Man, it's all for nothing at that point. You know, it's for the money, and you know, you're not supposed to let the money make you.
Of course.
So.
Chase the dream, not the money.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
So tell us, what are some of your actual favorite clothing brands?
Honestly, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I don't really have none. For the But what I do like, I like when local people do stuff because it makes it more exclusive. You see what I'm saying? So if it's dope and you put it on, you're like, shoot, you know, I know somebody else ain't gonna have this because it's not, you know, out mainstream. Exactly.
It's like it's just one.
Other than that, I don't have a favorite for the simple fact, like, you know, I don't want to get in too deep into like, you know, tarnishing. Like getting too wrapped up in fashion to the point where it starts to be solely about. It got to be a balance. I'm a Libra, so that's, you know, it got to be a balance. You know.
So okay, so talk about balance, right? Okay. Are you in that sagging fad?
No, I'm not in the sagging fad.
That's what I'm talking about.
I tell you what though, to be comfortable, I don't sag, but I drop my waist just a little bit.
You got the grown man. So
yeah, exactly.
It's permissible in certain inches.
Exactly. Your weight,
Not the real.
Nah, never.
I got a question. So you're originally from Jersey, right?
Yeah.
But you currently reside in Augusta. How has the transition affected your fashion as it relates to your style and your music, you know, or, you know?
It's crazy because, you know, a lot of people notice if you're into fashion, everybody down south gets stuff late. Right? Yeah. So it took me a while. Like, I remember the transition. I'm like, man, like, I want to have that and that and that, but this stuff is exclusive. But it really wasn't exclusive. It was just it didn't get to us yet. Then by the time it did, they were on to something new. So I found ways to kind of like, you know, try to jump ahead of the gun and then, you know, start buying stuff that looks similar or the same exact thing beforehand.
That's what's up. You know what, I think Star want to know this one. Who are the 5 artists you would like to collaborate with?
Yes.
5.
And if it's not 5, it may not be 5.
No,
but
no, it's 5.
It's more than 5.
Yeah.
It's more than 5.
And make it good.
It's more than 5 because I'm about to get with you right here. I'm front and center right here.
Okay, so honestly, the collabs got to be different. It can't always be I want such and such on a verse, right?
Right.
So, of course, my favorite rapper is Jay-Z, right?
Okay.
But my most influential rapper that influenced me to rap was 50 Cent because he came out in 03, you know, and 10 years ago, I was only like 11 years old. So, you know, that's kind of like my hip hop right there. But I would like to have like 50 on a hook one time and Jay on a hot verse. Probably
so we got 2.
Reach out to Afeni Shakur and probably pull a Tupac verse out of the
verse. You gotta make that one good. Everybody's pulling and when you know, but you gotta pull from somewhere deep like
That's legendary.
Exactly.
That's legendary. We got 3. 2 more.
And I'm gonna go new school, and I would like to do probably a track with Kendrick Lamar.
Thank you. I'm waiting for it. I was like, Kendrick Lamar. And you know, it's so funny because you bring a different side of Kendrick that I heard in your music. I was like, yo, he reminds me of Kendrick, but you bring in a northern flow to it. I mean, that original hip hop, that feel good music, cookout. You know what I'm saying? Love it.
And then as an artist, you kind of. I kind of was like hesitant. I'm hesitant to listen to any new artist because I like to stay in my own zone, right?
That's my thing. I love fashion.
I'm looking at designers, I want to stay in my own lane.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to get too influenced. Right. But when I heard him, I was like, gosh, I gotta like this dude. I have to like him. So now I like him, and I'm like, yo, I would like to. Now that's one dude I would probably go back and forth with. You know what I mean? I would like to have that artist competition with. Exactly.
You do good.
Well, Trues, brother, you are the truth, dog. And thank you so much for being here with us. It was a real pleasure. We are looking forward to hearing and seeing so much more of you, my brother. Iconic moments, and yo, Star has 60-second swag, baby. You don't want to move and you don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
All in together now, we can make it better now. Come on.
Moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier. Search We Can to find out more.
What's up? It's your boy Rashawn Wells with your iconic moment. And as we all know, black fashion designers are a rarity in the industry. There are so many who have made great strides, such as Dapper Don. From his 125th Street tailoring shop, Dapper Don has influenced hip-hop fashion since 1982. Originally taking fabrics from likes of Louis Vuitton and MCM and reposing them into custom garments. His clientele soon expanded from neighborhood hustlers to rap pioneers like Rakim, Funkmaster Flex. His handiwork can be seen on album artwork like the cover of Eric B. and Rakim's Follow the Leader and Paid in Full, to 90s styles icons like Mike Tyson and Salt and Pepper. While he never released a full collection, his influence and legacy on hip-hop still remains. Anytime someone references a design in an attempt to describe street culture, Dapper Don is the guy who started that trend, and this has been your iconic moment.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Call this free government program for the option that's right for you.
What's going on? So since we swagging out and all, in 60 seconds, I want to show y'all, let's see if y'all can parlay with your girl real quick. I'm going to introduce another side of me to you. So check it out. So for your 60-second swag, I'ma switch it up a little. Got my crew to help me down. We gon' turn it up a little. So write it down, tell the story. This is what it is. I'm flowing off the mental and simple. Go ahead and bob your head. Y'all rocking with the original. The rest is predictable. Lyrics on the edge of a miracle. Typical flawless victory is my ritual. Iconic fashion TV non-stop, unpredictable. So slow it down, keeping it fresh for your mental. Cruising through the avenues where they lack potential. Female lyricists, yeah, y'all feeling this. Just giving y'all something to move to. Like some immigrants, microphone check it. Yeah, I'm about to wreck it on some fly tip. Yeah, Star about to get 'em. I appreciate y'all rocking it out with your favorite homegirl Star, swagging you out in 60 seconds. Y'all know what it is. Iconic Fashion TV. Holla.
Yo, Star, you killed 60-second swag. And thanks for tuning in to Iconic Fashion TV.
It's always a pleasure spending this time with you.
And remember, follow us on Instagram, ICONICfashionTV.
And follow us on Facebook, Iconic Fashion, all one word.
And don't don't forget to check us out on Twitter at ICONIfashionTV. Everybody be safe, follow your dreams, and most of all, stay fly.